Hey, welcome to lesson 1.10b2. Today we've got a standard lesson with a review. We've got an instructional video, and then we're going to do questions 1 through 10. These will be word problems. There is an enrichment opportunity for an additional questions 7 through 10 on the last slide, but we're going to focus primarily on 10 word problems. Let's take a look at the review. Here it is. Go ahead and give yourself 5 minutes to work on this max, and then listen to the solutions. All right, here they are. Start inside the parentheses. 3 times 2 gives you 6. Then you got to apply the exponent. You got to square it. Now you've got 36. Next, you've got to divide. 54 divided by 3 is 18. Then you add at the end. You get to 54. Next problem, you start up in the parentheses once again. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Then you can apply the exponent. That's 81. Then you can apply the other exponent. Now you've got 4. Then you divide. 81 divided by 3, that gives you 27. Then you just multiply, and you're done at the top. You're at 108. Now then you can go to the bottom. 2 squared is 4. 108 divided by 4 is 27. The function for this one here would be x squared plus 1. And down here it's 3x squared. All right. Very good. Very good indeed. All right. You guys are ready for the video. Good luck. See you afterwards. Hey Elemental, welcome back to another math video. Tonight we're going to be writing 2 variable equations for situations. Let's start off with a trivia question. From the Big Apple, who is this guy? Why is he so important to the New York Yankee organization? All right, tonight officially our target is I can write a 2 variable equation to represent a situation. Let's do this thing. Let's just jump right into the must know words. You got to know this stuff here. What's this input or x called again? Domain. Very good. And the output or the y value is called the range. Good. And in the middle here, what happens to the x to make it y? What? Function. There we go. All right, so that's what we did last time. We took a function table like this, and we wrote a 2 variable equation. Let's see what's going on here. We're going from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So whatever the y is, we're just taking x and adding 1. So we're going to do the same thing tonight, but we're going to do it for word problems. We're going to start off very much the same way. We are going to take and make an xy table. We're going to figure out the rule. We're going to write that xy equation and then substitute in the variables from the word problem. Not a big deal. We can do this if we follow those steps. All right. The local Taco Bell makes 120 Dorito Locos tacos per hour. Write an equation using 2 variables to show the relationship between the tacos they make, T, and the number of hours, H, the store is open. All right, so let's make an XY table. So I just made one here real quick. If they work 1 hour, 120 tacos per hour would be 120. 2 hours times 120 would be 240. 5 hours would be 600. So my XY statement here, the Y looks like it's 120 times X. We can figure that out. Now just substitute in your variables here. So they got the one variable stands for the number of tacos made. So the number of tacos made is equal to 120 times the H, or 120H. T equals 120H. You might see it like that. Remember that the equal sign is that balance point. Both sides on both sides of it would be equivalent. All right, let's take a look at another problem, and then I'll have you try a couple. The cost of Grand Ole Creamery special order ice cream flavors, they're delicious by the way, are $40 per pail plus $3 per ingredient. Write an equation using 2 variables to show the relationship between the number of ingredients, I, and the total cost, C, for a pail. Same thing, step by step. Make an XY table. So here's what I did. Here's my XY table. So if I got 1 ingredient, I'd have to pay $3 times that X plus the $40 to give me $43. If I had 2 ingredients, I'd have to take $3 times that 2 plus the 40 is 46. So it looks like my Y equals X statement here is that Y is equal to 3 times whatever X is plus 40, and X is the number of ingredients. So substitute in their variables, the total cost C is equal to $3 times the number of ingredients plus 40. All right, we just worked our way right through those two very, very quickly. And I'm ready for you to try a couple on your own. So I will read you the problem, and you go ahead and do your thing. I've got your little list over here to follow. Mrs. Crothers makes $9 per hour dressing up like a chicken and waving at cars in front of canes. It's not a dignified job, but it pays the bills. Write an equation using 2 variables to show the relationship between the number of hours she works, H, and the amount of money she makes, M. Go ahead, pause the video and do that. All right, well, here's what I came up with. My little table. If she works 1 hour, $9. 2 hours, 18. I didn't feel like I needed to go any further than that because I could already kind of figure out that the y is equal to 9x. So I'll go up and substitute their variables in. So the money she makes, M, is equal to 9 times the number of hours she works. Once again, equations have equal signs. All right, have you try another one here. Sarah's gourmet cookies cost $10 per dozen. It costs $5 to ship each order, no matter how big it is. Write an equation using two variables to show the relationship between the number of dozen cookies, D, you buy, and the total cost, C. Go ahead and pause it and see if you can come up with the XY chart and the rest of it. All right, let's see how you did. Well, 1 dozen, it would be $10 for the dozen, plus that 5 would be 15. If you did 2 dozen, it would be $10 times the 2 dozen would be 20, plus that 5 would be 25. So again, I didn't need to put a third one down. I could already see what's happening here. The y is equal to $10 times the number of dozen plus 5. Let's just substitute in their variables. The cost is equal to $10 times the number of dozen plus 5. It's right there. When you go through them step by step like this, they are pretty doggone easy. All right, so I've got this one right here. I'll have you take a look at for your ticket to the show problem. Martha rents a moving truck in New York City. The truck costs $75 a day plus $7 per mile. Write a two-variable equation that shows the relationship between the number of miles driven, M, and the total cost, C, for a day. Go ahead and make an XY chart. Go through the steps just like we have. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and see who this guy is. This is Derek Jeter. The guy's amazing. He's an ambassador for baseball. I'm not a huge Yankee fan, but it's hard not to like this guy. I mean, he just played the game right, and I miss him. He played in 2000, last game he played was in 2014. In his 20-year career with the Yankees, he had 3,500 hits almost, 260 home runs, and a lot of those home runs and extra base hits were big hits in clutch situations. This guy is something else. He's a legend in New York, and he was just a real good leader, and like I said, an ambassador for baseball. So, all right, good luck. See ya. All right, welcome back. Well, if you like what I did in the video, you're going to get more of it right now. Yeah, that's why it's a little bit shorter video. We're just going to keep working these problems here. We're going to do the same thing. So let's take a look at this problem about Casey here, my son. We're going to write a two-variable equation for this situation. Casey has a student membership at Lifetime. He pays a monthly fee of $10 plus $2 per visit. Write a two-variable equation for this situation using C for the total cost of going to Lifetime each month and V for the number of visits. So what do? Here we go. Here's the steps. Make an XY table. Here she is. 0 visits, $10. Got to pay the monthly fee. 1 visit, 12. 2 visits, 14. I already had the pattern kind of figured out. So it's times 2 plus 10. That's my little rule. The y equals x equation, that would be y is equal to 2x plus 10. And then substitute in the variables. Well, the total cost they wanted was C, so cost is equal to $2 times the number of visits, or 2v, plus 10. And notice how I'm labeling here. You know, I know what I'm doing here, folks. If you just trust me and follow these steps, you'll get these problems right. All right, one more, then I'm going to cut you loose to do 10, up to 14, 10 to 14 of these on your own. Yikes. Trains between Hiroshima and Kokura, Japan. The bullet train averages a speed of 164 miles per hour, which is the fastest scheduled train service in the world. Make a function table that shows the distance traveled at that speed in 1, 2, 3, and 4 hours. All right, not sure what to do? Well, let's start off with the old XY table and then just put some values in and get it going here. So we got 1 hour, 164, 2 hours, 328, 3 hours, 492, 4 hours, 656 miles. I'm starting to already kind of put the labels in there. So I know that the y is equal to 164x. Now I just put their labels in there, and the distance is equal to 164. The distance is equal to 164 times the number of hours. Straight up. We're going to work through 10 problems today, all word problems, and I'm going to work through these with you, but I want you to try them first by yourselves, and I'll show you my solutions. All right, read each problem, make a table, figure out an XY statement, and then substitute in their variables. And then finally, if they've asked any additional questions, like number 4 here, I believe, asks a different question. Number 2 asks an additional question based upon the answer in the equation. Then you should answer that as well. But make sure you're reading carefully. So go ahead and try those. I'll just pause for a moment and scroll up so you can get all 4 of these problems in. I put the little chart right up here as well. So maybe I'll just move myself so you can see those 4 questions. Okay, and I'll scroll down so you can see these other ones. This is also attached as a PDF. If you would like to download it and work it, you can do that as well. I'm okay if you do it in your notebook or here. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the answers. I'll work through them with you. All right. Mrs. Woody pays Mr. Dudley's $2 a day plus a once-a-month bonus. Sorry about that. There's a typo there. Once-a-month bonus of $5 to babysitter. Here's the 2 variable equation. So I made my XY chart. 0 days that I babysit, I still get $5 because I get a $5 a month bonus. 1 day would be 7 because it's the $2 for the 1 day plus the 5. 2 days would be 9. So my equation here is y equals 2x plus 5. And I've got, when I substitute their variables in, this is the total is equal to $2 times the number of days, or 2d plus 5. Number 2 is probably the hardest one. A couple of different ways you could do this, so I'll take either answer. If you make a chart with x and y, and you go 0, 0, 1 step equals 2 steps, 2 steps equals 4 steps, you can found out that a total of 15 steps for Kim equals 30 steps for Joe. If you did it this way, your equation would be Joe equals 2 Kim. All right? But you might have set it up the other way, and I think it's reasonable that you'd set that up with, Joe takes 2 steps, Kim takes 1 step. Joe takes 4 steps, Kim takes 2 steps. Joe takes 30, Kim takes 15. In this case, it's Kim is equal to 1/2 of Joe. The other thing is, here's a total of 30, grab my highlighter here, highlight that for you. That's 30 steps total they took. Number 3, I check my email 7 times a day. Here's the 2 variable equation, so I just, for how many hours, so 0 hours, 0 checks, 1 hour, 7 checks, 2 hours, 14. It's really a y equals 7x situation. Use their variables, go on back, t, use h for the number of hours, so 7 times the number of hours equals t, the total number of times I check it. This is true. I have a problem with that. I'm constantly checking. It's good for you, though. I'm always responding. This one here, Brent Grant's selling magazines, so if he sells 0 magazines, he gets $0. 1 magazine, 5, 2 magazines, 10, 12 magazines, 60. So that was one of the answers. $60. Hopefully you got that. And this is a simple y equals 5x. So you pop that in there. That would be the total dollars is equal to 5 times the number of magazines, or 5m equals d. They wrote it backwards, but you could certainly write it either way, as long as both those are on the opposite sides of the equal sign. Mrs. Crothers gives me $20 a day a month as a retainer fee and $5 a day to protect her from Mrs. Palinka. Write an equation to represent the situation. Use d for the number of days, t for the total monthly cost. Well, we set the chart up. If I work 0 days, I still get the $20 retainer. If I work 1 day, I get $25 because it's $20 plus the 5. 2 days, it's the 30. So this is really, the y is equal to $5 per day, or 5x, plus that $20 retainer. Put in their letters, we've got t, the total, is equal to $5 times the number of days, or just 5d plus 20. And let me slide myself out of the way here for this last one. Very similar to the first one. Fastest insect in the world is a dragonfly. So it's 0 hours, 0 miles. 1 hour, 36 miles. 2 hours, 72. 3 is 108. So that's one of your answers right here is 108. They wanted that. And then the other one, it's y equals 36x. So if you take and use their variables, y is time and d is distance. Actually, they have this down. It should be t is time. So it would be 36 times the number of hours, or 36t equals d. Okay, time for your next four. And these are really challenging problems, and I still want you to try your best on them. They all have solutions, and I'll run through them once again. So I'll take and let you look at the first two, 7 and 8. Don't forget, we're not really solving, we're just writing this y equals x equation. And let's scroll down. Let me take a look at these other ones. Okay, this one's number 10. Looks like I lost my number there somewhere along the line. Okay, and let's take a look at those answers. There we go. The total cost is equal to 4 times the number of necklaces plus $6. Here's my chart. This time here, the savings is equal to $40 times the number of days. Some of you may have put the savings equals 2 times 20 times the number of days. It's really the same as 40 times the number of days. Here's my little chart for days and the savings. Yeah, I'm getting better at it, so I didn't put the XY chart down. Plus, I want to honor those who are smart enough to do it without the XY chart, but I usually do it. Here's this one. The dollars is equal to 2 times the number of chores. That was a real simple one. And this one's kind of crazy. The squeaking one. The squeaks are equal to 4 times the number of minutes. All right. You're ready for your quiz. Those of you who just can't get enough, a couple of things you could do. Number one, you could try writing some, as a challenge, try writing some some problems that include, that use 2 variables. Write your answers to, follow your steps. They're hard. And if you just want to try some more questions on your own because you want to practice, or maybe you're looking at this video to get ready for the chapter test, here's some questions here. These 2 would require charts and tables. I put the little cheat list in there, and then these ones here, 8 and 10, the even numbered ones, you would answer based upon your answers to 7 and 9. Again, you had to do 1 through 10. These ones here are just pushing the peanut if you wanted a little more. All right, thanks a lot. Good luck.